This the TempahZone podcast.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind and I can never give it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody's hands go up.
Where they go?
And they say that, and they say that, and they say that, up, down, up, down, up,
Yes, sir.
down. All I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stand.
Step up. No.
Start to the whole song. Ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 20
Ooh.
of the TempahZone
Yes, sir.
podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts. And ladies and gentlemen, the Patriots win Super Bowl 53 against the Rams, winning 13-3, making it the 6th Super Bowl victory in Patriots franchise history.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Now, people were saying it was a boring Super Bowl, but hey, shut up. It's a Super Bowl. You get what you get, all right? It's football. Things happen. And defense was played, and the Rams couldn't score a touchdown, and we only scored one in a field goal. Sorry, that's just how it goes sometimes, man, you know? But we only scored two field goals and a touchdown. Correction. But, yo, just can't complain about it, man. Super Bowl champions. I had to rock my Pats hat once again. You see that right there? I even got a little mark on it, you know what I'm saying, for 6. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. So I had to think to myself, what am I going to do since the Patriots won this championship? How do I celebrate it on this podcast? Well, I got somebody who just so happens to play on the Patriots, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're wondering how I did that, well, he's a very, very good friend of mine. He's like a brother, bro. Like, this is good people right here, man. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, he plays guard on the New England Patriots. He's number 64. So, be on the lookout next time, all right? For number 64. You can say, oh, I saw this guy on the TempahZone podcast. Amir knows him. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tony Adams.
Really appreciate you having me, brother. For real. OG game. When I tell you OG, like...
They don't know. You can explain to them as much as they want. This is the OG gang, bro.
Y'all still wouldn't realize how much brothers we are, man. We can tell you every story, but we, we're blood is almost, like, we almost blood.
Yeah, man. Me? Like we'll put it this way. Like, Tony spent Christmas with me this year.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
That should explain that, where our relationship is, man. Right. Yeah, because that's, like, legit.
Shout out to my family. My family's amazing, blessed. But I had more family dinners with Amir's family than I did with my own family.
You had plenty of jerk chicken and oxtail and curry goat, man. Or I should say curry Brady.
Hey, you feel me?
You see me, Curry Brady. We calling it Curry Brady now in New England.
You feel me?
Yeah, man. So
Curry Brady, I love that.
Curry Brady, yeah. I was writing songs the other night, and I was like, I use Curry Brady.
Yo, that's gonna be fire, bro. That's gonna be fire.
And then you rappers still Curry Brady. I know where you got it from, all right? I'm on you. Don't steal Curry Brady. Amir Max came up with it first. All right, all right, enough with that. All right, so Tony, I wanted to ask you, man, just straight up, what does it feel like to be on a Super Bowl championship team, man?
I can't lie to you. It feels like honestly, a dream. Yeah, I can't imagine, it couldn't have been written for my story, like at least, and it's the same kind of aspect for the Patriots organization in general. Like at the beginning of the year, which is usually what happens. Yeah. To where, like, everybody's doubting. Everybody says Brady's this, Brady's that. Belichick's is, the dynasty is over. Yeah. I wasn't even there that time, but I understand how that feels as a squad, as an organization, as a team where there's a lot of doubt, because it's – but I'm telling you, when I came week 15, 16, the aura of the whole thing – we just came from a loss, too. We just came from the second loss against the Dolphins. But the aura and the energy of the team was still like – yeah, we good. You know what I mean? There was no discrepancy of how good that team was, how much, how cohesive that team was. Yeah. And it was just remarkable. And being a part of that team throughout the end, all glory to God. I just want to say that right now.
For real,
man. The fact that that I was here, just to experience it, and just all the way through that moment to where we won the Super Bowl and the confetti was going all over the place. It was a dream. I couldn't, you can't fathom it. Like,
nah, man.
Experiences was like one another. So I just want to thank God for it straight up. And it was amazing.
Yeah, man. That's just no other way to put it. I mean, like, playing football, You know, I can only imagine like being you know, all you're asking for is just to make it in the league and, you know, make it a living, you know what I'm saying? But you're not thinking to become a Super Bowl champion, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like that's not really crossing your mind, you know? You're just happy to be here, you know?
Exactly.
So that's just, you know, a cherry on top, bro, you know? And no one can take that away from you now, man, you know what I'm saying? And they can say what they want to say about, oh, like, you know, you might have not played in the snap or, you know, all that, but you contributed to that team, bro.
Hey, you can say all you want.
Yeah.
B, I'm a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, exactly. Let them know, bro.
Not to be boastful, you know, humility is my number one thing.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm going to put that on my resume.
Yeah, right?
Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl 52 champion. In your face. Yeah, let them know, bro. You got flex it sometimes, bro. When you get that ring, you know, definitely let them know.
I'm not going to tell you straight up, but if you ask me,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna be letting me know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm gonna let it be known.
Something light. Yeah. Now, obviously, you didn't just show up to the league and get to the Pats. Explain where you went to high school and what it took for you to get into college.
Man, so my father was the head wrestling coach at Boston University.
Hey.
So I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, right next door to Amir.
Yeah.
Rosendale.
Next door neighbors,
OG,
man.
next door.
Rosendale, son.
Like I could open up my window and be like, yo, what's up? Like in this tone, and they can hear me.
Yeah.
So it was just, you know, growing up there was a great environment. We lived in a great neighborhood.
Yeah, man.
The thing about it too, though, if you took a step to the left, you was in the suburbs. If you took a step to the right, you was in the hood.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For real,
so that, you know, we had a good perspective and a good outlook on just a lot of things that you know, allowed us to grow, you know, as kids. So when I was really young, when we were really young, you know, as you know, my first Super Bowl was watching the LA Rams against the Patriots.
That's crazy.
And then I think shortly after that game, I think I was maybe 6 was when I met Amir. And then ever since then, I went to Boston. I went to a really small school, Mozart Elementary.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think there was more than, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you, but the building was probably as big as this building.
Yeah, it's mad small. Yeah,
it's really small. And then I, you know, went to Bates. You know, anybody that knows Bates, you know, shout out to Bates. Yeah,
I remember Bates.
Phineas Bates.
Yeah.
And then we went to Washington Irving. You feel me?
Hey,
that school right there. Yo, that was where, you know, I really was made. No, I'm playing out.
Yeah.
it was a great school. Like all these schools are in Rosendale, they're really close.
Yeah.
And then fortunately enough, I took the I forgot what test was it called, the to get into Latin.
ISE.
Yeah. Took the ISE test.
I hope that's what it's called.
You know, it's so long ago. And then I was able to fortunately get into Boston Latin Academy. Unfortunately enough, though, I was one of those people who were very open and wanted to talk a lot, so I didn't really focus a lot in school. So my grades weren't too good. I was picking it up. But the first few years I was just slacking off. But eventually, you know, I knew what it took. I knew what I had to do to become what I wanted to become in the future. So with a lot of influence from Amir and your brothers, Hanif and Ahmad.
Yeah. Ahmad was the one that was like,
straight up. Straight up.
He pushed that shit on you, man.
Like, that's when I got introduced to, like, football. You know what I mean? Because I knew Hanif was playing football. I knew Ahmad was, you know, basketball player and all that type of stuff. But I knew, like, you know, I was way too short and big to even try to think about basketball.
Yeah. And you were playing tennis.
I was playing tennis. I was a big tennis player.
Which is
I played tennis since I was 2.
Which is hilarious to think about
now. Yeah, I know.
Now.
It's hilarious. But hey, come see me.
I'll whoop you.
You come see me.
Serena serve your ass.
You feel me? Hey, my shoulder's a little banged up right now, but come see me.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'll show you what's up. No.
Yeah.
But so I was playing tennis for a long time, and then when Hanif and them started playing football, I really wanted to go to your school, which is Variant.
Yeah.
And I knew the case was, you know, you know, we needed some money. You know, I'm extremely blessed. You know what I mean? We were, you know, we were very comfortable. It wasn't like, you know, but my dad wasn't accepting the fact that he wanted to pay so much at the time. He just had 2 kids graduate from BU and everything else like that. So he was putting a lot in.
To pay a lot more money for high school just, you know, didn't make sense.
And then Boston Latin Academy, their football program was, you know, I'll shout out to Coach Ziza too. I love Coach Ziza, man.
Shout out.
And anytime you can hit me up, I'm gonna hit him up and say what's up. But I knew that direction wasn't where I could have went. You know, I could have matched my potential. So very fortunate enough, through the grace of God, my sister was down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And she was very stable. She had 3 of her own kids. And she said, hey, if you want to come down here and play some football, I'm telling you, Charlotte football is not like no other. So I took that opportunity, took a leap of faith, and I went down there and it ended up working really well for me. So I ended up going to Independence High School in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Shout out to Independence High School, man.
Played pretty well. Shout out to Indy.
Yeah,
shout out to Indy. Played pretty well. Was very fortunate. Had one scholarship offer to North Carolina State University. It's a big school, but it was my only one.
Yeah.
But it ended up being one of the better decisions of my life, just to be able to go to a very competitive school, especially in football.
Man. Yeah, for real, yeah.
And then academically, it's pretty straight too.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, man.
So it was it's extreme blessing. God has definitely took me on a path where it can't be written. You know what I mean? Taking risks to move away from your mom and dad, to go down to Charlotte, to take a risk to reset. And become not become a totally new person, but take on a totally new path. Ended up, God just blessed me through that whole journey. And I was very fortunate just to be picked up after that in the league. Yeah,
man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that's a lot of shit that you had to do just to end up playing the league, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you definitely learned a lot playing at NC State. I can only imagine all the things you learned and the people you met.
Yep.
What are some values that you learned from NC State that will never go away? Because I feel like college, everyone always has that. Their heart is always stamped by the college that they went to. I went to UMass Lowell, and there's just certain things there that I feel like, I learned from there that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. So what do you think you got from NC State that really has stuck with you to this day?
Two different perspectives. The first one is from the team and how our coach ran. Shout out to Coach Doran, my head coach at North Carolina State University. He was able to implement some pillars. Yeah. I can't tell you all the pillars. There was a lot. But it taught you how to be more of anything a better man.
Yeah.
And it taught you how to really look at situations, look at opportunities, and and what I mean by pillars is in order to have these pillars, you have to have a good foundation, a good pillar, and then your building can be structurally strong.
Yeah.
So that you have a strong how do you say?
Foundation.
Yeah, foundation. Yeah. About you, about who you are as a human, so that people don't make any mistakes about who you are. And you're doing the best to create your path.
Yeah.
To being successful. So that's what he did. Those pillars, they said perseverance, stuff like that. That really kind of you don't really get. Coming out of high school, you barely know what the words mean.
Yeah, right.
I mean?
Perseverance.
Exactly, but
that's a big word.
You do, you'd be like, I've heard that word before, but in that perspective, especially coming from a lot of football players. Shout out to football players. I'm saying I'm not trying to say anything about that, but I'm just saying we're at a point where we're still trying to learn about ourselves, and it's in a situation where a lot is going on.
Yeah.
So those pillars allowed us to always, get back to what we needed. The second perspective is my faith, especially going to a school in the South.
Oh yeah, man. Religion is just it's a different type of vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. And they breathe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, when I was growing up, I probably went to church in Boston maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe 2 Easters, and then maybe 2 other occasions with my godmother. But we were always Baptist. My mom always believed in God. My dad always believed in God. My grandmothers, they prayed for us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It was one of those situations where I just had it was like a perfect thing to where I learned it myself. But, you need help along the way. So I went when I went to North Carolina State.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I gotta, let me start.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, everyone around me is going, and we just see what's about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so me and my boys, we were like, yo, let's just go to a church. Let's go find one. So we riding all around. We don't know where we at. You feel me? We 20, 30 minutes away from the school, but we found this small church, and I'm just no bigger than this building. Actually, smaller than this building.
Yeah, a lot smaller. Yeah.
But it was the blessings that God allowed us to find that church because it was personal.
Yeah.
And what God wants you to do is create a personal relationship with him. You don't want a big, you don't want to feel left out.
No,
you don't want to feel to where it's different perspectives. But for me,
I definitely,
it was a perfect start. You know what I'm saying? So when we got there, it was just an amazing aura, amazing vibe. It was a wonderful word.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the first 2, that's what helped me grow my faith. And then one of the players, our tight end, Cole Cook. Shout out to Cole Cook.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of them, Cole Cook, B.J. Hill, Big T, my best friend, all of them, man, they really helped me grow my faith because they were ones to come from a family of church, coming from a relationship with God.
And they were more so about it than you thought you could ever be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when me and Cole Cook, he would go downstairs, or I would go down to his room. He was right under me, and he'd be like, "Hey, bro, let's just have Bible study. Let's just get to know."
Yeah.
So that was in itself, like, think about that. We're college kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he says,
something.
"Hey, bro, me and you, we'll just have Bible study. We'll just go ahead and just learn about the Lord." So I was like, "Man, let's do it." You know what I mean? There's no problem. There's some days I was like, I don't go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. Like,
I'm trying to just kick it back.
I don't want to take a nap.
Skip. Yeah.
Type stuff. But he would text me. He would always text me. He's like, "You coming?" At that point, I'm like, I know God looking at me. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm coming.
You gonna go? Like, you better go.
So that was amazing in itself. That perspective that made me learn a lot. And the third one is just a short one. Is networking, being able to communicate with anybody that I wanted to speak to because of the education I got from the university. It was just remarkable. So it was just in my perspective, so it allowed me to definitely network with anybody and whoever that I want to talk to. And
that networking is a big deal, man. You know, in any field, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people, they meet the right people that they meet just solely off of networking. You know, like the skill doesn't even matter as much as just meeting the right people and making sure that you're getting out there, your name out there, and everyone making sure that you're working.
Yes.
That's really important, man.
Yeah.
So that's got. I was surprised to hear you say networking because with football, what I do with music, definitely networking is super important, getting your name out there. But I didn't really think too much that would be the case with football. I always just think the people will find you. Them scouts will find you. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So that's just where I thought it would come from. So.
That's a good point. And we're short little thing. Football players, we put ourselves in a box, so we don't allow ourselves to network because of what you said, because we think it's gonna come to us.
Yeah.
And we're only focused on a couple things. We're only focused on football, and then maybe getting to a certain point where it's after professional football.
Yeah.
So our networking isn't necessarily we're not thinking about it.
No.
We're in a box. Like, we know, all right, get up, work out, practice, school.
And
We're tired at school, so we don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah, you're just sitting there like, is this class over already?
Hey, bro, I have had a lot of those run-ins with those classes. But, so that's it, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's dope to hear. It definitely sounds like NC State, planted a strong seed in you.
Shout out Wolfpack. Go Pack, baby.
Go Pack, man. I was there for one of your games. Playing BC.
Oh, yeah. Shout out.
I was freezing my ass off.
But you was there. You stayed.
I was
That's
there,
how much
man.
of a brother he is. He stayed the whole game.
I was there the whole game,
and
man.
he saw me after. I take long as hell to get out the locker room.
Yeah, we waited.
You waited. Hey,
we had all day,
my
bro.
dogs was there, bro.
Yeah, man. We all were there, man.
Mama cooked me some food, too.
Yeah. Woo. Hell yeah.
Boy, I forgot what it was, but I told you, everybody on the bus wanted a piece. I was like, bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I haven't had this in years. This is mine.
It's mine. You ain't having not even a slip.
Nothing.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. So I gotta ask you now, did you ever think that you would have a shot at making it in the league? Did you ever think that was actually a possibility, or did you think it was gonna be a wrap after college?
It's funny. I never put an expectation on myself.
Okay.
I just felt so. The fact that I got that one scholarship offer was a miracle to me.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. But I think that's what kind of helped me in my work ethic.
Yeah.
And it's very like, how do you say, reverse psychology. Yeah. It's like, since I didn't have any expectations for myself, I just did whatever I had to do. But for me, I just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just made it happen. Yeah.
And then I kind of knew, like, at the same point in time, if I do it, I'm still going to be competitive at it. So I want to be the best, whether it's a lift, whether it's at practice, but I'm going to do it, and I want to do it better than him.
Yeah, that's all, yeah. That's
the
way to go, man.
That's what's kind of helped me. It's like not having, and then always knowing my dad, just always get up and go to work because he just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that perspective right there helped me be successful, especially early in my career, because I graduated early from high school, got to NC State in January, and that was one of the better decisions of my life too. That whole off season where it was spring ball and everything, I showed out. But I didn't even think I did. You know what I mean? I still thought of the little things that I did wrong. I was like, yo, I gotta fix that. So that kind of honed in on me, even though I still had that same perspective of that psychology part, not expecting. but I felt like the things I did wrong, I was like, dang, like I really got to pick it up. But for some reason, the coaches just fell in love.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, all right, cool. Like we will just run with it. And then I was a starter by like game 3.
Whew.
By game 3
that's
my
dope,
freshman year.
Yeah, freshman year already starting by game 3. That's some big moves right there, man.
Yeah, blessings, man. It was all God, because I had no expectations.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any expectations for yourself, you end up actually doing, and then you kind of leave it to, a higher power. Things really come into your favor a lot of the times.
Yeah, man, that's a good way to think about it. Like I never thought about not having any expectations when it comes to like what you do.
Yeah,
that's actually a good way to look at it. Because for me, I always think to myself like, okay, what can I do next? What can I do next?
Yeah.
What can I do next? So it's dope that you looked at it that way, man. I think other people can look at it that way too with what they do, man.
Yeah.
Just have no expectations. Go in there, give it what you got. Give it what you got and give it what you got.
Yep.
And then what those
and then
things
see
will
what
come to you.
You feel me? Yeah. And it's weird. People are like, because when they think of that perspective, they think like, oh, you have no expectations. You're not gonna really put in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're like you're gonna kick back, but that's not the case.
Nah, man. Yeah.
Because if you have some respect for yourself, you don't want to embarrass yourself.
No.
But at the same point in time, you don't want to think too high of yourself. You want to be right in the middle. Or to where like you don't have two different spectrums to where like you don't want to be. Because if you think too high of yourself and you get your ass embarrassed, that you're gonna be right back into the embarrassed part.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
exactly. Yeah, man.
A lot of those.
Yeah, real shit right there, man. So how was it playing with the Jacksonville Jaguars? You were on there for a short period of time, but what was that like? That was your first NFL team, man.
Gosh, bro. Shout out to Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. Yeah.
But bro, that was so we have clocks around the building, and every clock was set 5 minutes early. So that means if you were 4 minutes early to a meeting, you were 1 minute late.
Jesus.
So that gives
militant.
Very militant. Very militant. So that gives you a big, outlook on how they ran it.
Yeah.
And bro, it was just grind. But I thank God for it every day because it allowed me to understand, all right, this is the hardest.
Yeah.
Like we were going against I was going against Pro Bowlers. I was going against guys every day. Like, reference Malik Jackson, Calais Campbell, even Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I would come to him on the screen or something like that. And you were going against the best in the toughest conditions. Jacksonville, Florida was
dumb hot. And you were playing in August.
As soon as you stepped outside, everything was just sticking. You just had to pull it off. That's how hot it was.
So that's nasty.
But I cannot thank God more than enough just to have that opportunity.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
see it in that light. You know what I'm saying? To see this game like where we thought it was going to be all roses. You know what I mean? And it just ended up being like a grind. And from every player on that team, they were like, bro, it's not like this anywhere else.
Yeah.
But that was my first encounter with NFL football.
I know, right? Yeah,
like
so
as a
like,
rookie.
You're thinking to yourself like, oh shit, this is the NFL, man. Oh my God. This is some tough stuff right here.
So, but you need to go through adverse situations to see how glorious, good things are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I would love to get in my story, and I'm not gonna,
oh yeah, no, that's
but absolutely, go ahead, just do it.
Okay, all right.
My fault.
Whatever you feel comfortable with, man. No, it's all goody. I wanted to ask you, what did you do after your short time with the Jaguars? Because you were only on there for a limited time. So what did you do in that point, man? I can only imagine you must have felt like, oh shit, like where do I go from here now? Because I could see that being a scary situation.
Very.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I go a little bit of a backstory?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So
we got 15 minutes. So,
I got
you.
Yeah, that's what I was. I knew that. I was like, yeah.
We could have done this for like an hour more for sure. Yeah,
definitely. I'm gonna try to get to this, but this is all right.
Yeah, go, man. Yeah, let me know.
Coming out of college, I had a really good career. Very fortunate, very blessed. 4-year starter, 2-time All-Conference, team ranked in the top 25.
Stats.
Most snaps in the NC State history. I played the most. I played more than Phillip Rivers. Torrey Holt. I played more than all of them.
That's a stat right there.
So I had a lot of damage to my body.
Yeah.
Very fortunate, very blessed that I was able to do that because you can get hurt any play.
Yeah.
So after that, I was kind of getting a big head, and this is after a while where like I was I I knew God and everything else like that, but I kind of went away from him because I thought it was all me, especially in my conversations, especially in my interactions with people. I'm like, yeah, I got this. You know, this is me type things. This is when expectations started to take a hold of me.
Yeah.
Because of what I've already done and not giving the praise and thank you to, you know, God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In my perspective, all the way. So after the season was over, unfortunately I had a knee injury one of my last games.
Damn.
And I had to have surgery, meniscus, nothing crazy.
Okay.
But it was tough because I was going right into training for the NFL Combine. You got to hit it quick. So when I was in training, I still was recovering from my knee, so I couldn't put a lot of the effort. And
you couldn't go all in like
it was my second surgery too on that knee, so it was taking a little bit longer to recover. So I was going through a lot of stress and emotions about being able to do something that I've you know, put it in my mind that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get over it. Like you know, the training facility was good, but I couldn't do things that they were doing because I was so behind. And I felt like I was never gonna catch up. I felt like I was never gonna catch up. My knee was not getting better. I wasn't taking care of it like I should have.
Damn. Yeah.
And at that point, I was reading the Bible. I was praying at night. But when I was doing that, I was just praying for things. I was like, God, please, I just want to get drafted.
Yeah, please.
Like, you
Put
know,
me in the NFL, man.
I don't remember one time I said like, God, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't remember one time I was doing that in that period of time. And it was for a long time, bro. So it was for like 2 or 3 months. And I was just like, bro, God, please let me do this, let me do that. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. And then
put me in this position.
And then I'll do this. Some type. So after the combine, after all that, I wasn't invited to the combine. That hurt a little bit. Go to pro day. They give me a cortisone shot. I'm still not ready. I run a slow time. My benches, all that, blah blah blah. And at this point in time, I was putting my mind through so much stress because I was getting ready for something that I was like, yo, I need to get drafted. You know what I mean? I was putting so much emphasis on getting drafted that it put my mind into so much of a frenzy. That I couldn't handle it. Like I was just like, yo, this is ridiculous. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I can do. And so I'm talking to my agent. I'm doing this, and then reviews come out like Tony's going to get drafted in the 4th round. So I'm lit. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing. I'm like, yo, let's go. Like these are good scouts. They know what they're talking about. 4th round is good. I'll do that. So I started getting a little crazy. I started like, you know, before the draft, I'm like, I worked hard. I went through a lot. I'm going to go start drinking and stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Mind you, there was 3 encounters where I had to do what's it called? Where I had to take my wisdom teeth out.
Oh, okay,
I had 2 surgeries. And then, what's it called? And then I got sick. I got pneumonia.
Oh shit!
So I had to
that's
take.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, right. So antibiotics. So they get the last one where I had the pneumonia. The antibiotic that I took was really really strong, and I was like, okay, cool. I was getting over my sickness a little bit, and this is after like pro day or whatever. And I'm trying. Let me go ahead and let me just go ahead and celebrate, kind of. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go. I'm
for
good.
sure.
So not knowing the fact that antibiotics like mess up your stomach or whatever like that, it messed up my whole immune system.
Oh shit!
Because it's good and bad bacteria in your body, blah blah blah. Blah,
yeah.
Go into a whole 9. So it messed up my whole immune system, and it messed up the ability for my muscles to gain nutrients.
Oh,
so
sheesh.
If I try to run like from literally that wall to that wall, my muscles would start to like break down. Break down, and then like and my joints would like couldn't take it. Like I would have to stop. Like
That's
even
crazy.
going up the steps. So this went on for like 2 months, like literally like a month and a half. Like I couldn't figure out why. I didn't know what it was. We went through a whole bunch of blood tests, went through a whole bunch of stuff, and then we figured out that it was the medication. It was the medication I was taking. So at that point, I'm in a frenzy. But then I knew what I have to do now is I have to put my faith in my Lord and Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
It was the only way. Because there was no answer. Like otherwise, there was no earthly answers.
Yeah, you weren't. There was nothing else there for you to, give you that answer, man.
I was online. I was looking up like how do I fix myself, blah blah blah, and I was putting myself through more and more stress. That it wasn't only the medication, it was the stress I was putting my body under. Because if you do that if your mind does that to your body, it doesn't know how to function. It doesn't really care about anything else but something that you're worried about.
Exactly.
So it doesn't let your body like heal up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And you can get even to like, that's why I'm so big proponent of like stress and anxiety is, you know, it's real. I've been through it. I was through it.
Shit, man. I'm big on mental health too,
Straight
man.
up.
You know, I got my own issues with that, so I make sure I deal with that, you know, accordingly, man. You know.
Absolutely. So I'm deep, bruh. I go on a straight like blackout. Like I don't go on my phone. I don't text nobody back. I don't go on social media. I don't watch TV.
I remember seeing that. I remember like it's like, yo, is Tony like
gone?
Tony's like dropped off.
I was dropped off. This is after the draft, right?
I remember that. Yeah.
I didn't get drafted, and then Jacksonville called me for a contract, but like a free agent contract. So I was still on the team.
Yeah.
And I was like, Coach, I can't go. Like I can't do anything right now. Like my muscles don't work. I wouldn't be able to. So I couldn't do minicamp at all. Which is like the thing before training camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I was devastated, bro. So after that, I took a whole week, 7 days, bro. I went on a fat, like I only ate broccoli, vegetables, did not watch TV, did not do anything electronic, and I just read my Bible.
Damn. So
for 7 days
you stayed away from all that, bro.
All that. And I fasted for 3 days. And then after I went to, and then this is what I want, the biggest proponent. I went to Elevation Church. North Carolina, Matthews.
Okay. With
Pastor Stephen Furtick. It's a big church, way different from the first church I went to.
Yeah.
But the messages that he did, and then a lot of people can attest to this too, but it spoke straight to me.
Open your mind, yeah.
It spoke straight to me.
Awesome.
And what it said the whole time is that put your faith to God, go to work, never stop what you're doing. Go to work and then leave it up to him. But trust him and thank him.
I like that. Leave
you know
it
what I'm
up
saying?
to him. Yeah.
Leave it up to him. Trust him and thank him. Because when you trust him, praise him, thank him, and you let him deal with it, abundance comes to you.
Oh yeah, man.
And I can attest to that.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real, yeah.
So that's what I did. That's exactly what I did at that standpoint. I was like, God, I'm gonna learn more about you. I'm gonna build this relationship with you because I need to. I'm in the most adverse situation in my life. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if I'll ever be the same again. So that day where I gave myself to Christ again, as soon as I did that, it was going on for 2 months or a month at this time. The day after, the next morning, I got up. I swear to you, I got up. I was like, yo, I'm gonna try to run. I ran, and like literally,
that
I
shit
did
worked. Yeah,
like it was a miracle right there. Because I promise you, I tried to walk around the park, couldn't do it too much. I tried to do it all. I tried to do all this different stuff. I had to stop. Like my knees was giving out. Like, you know, my legs was not there. The nutrients weren't there. That next morning, I didn't do anything different, but give myself to Christ at that moment. I swear to you, not I got up and ran.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what that sounds like to me, bro? It sounds like you had your faith. And you had your optimism, bro.
Yeah,
faith and optimism, man. Those
Straight
two things right there
Straight up.
have led you to a lot of success, man.
Absolutely.
You know, with the word of God, man, that shit helped you, bro. It really did, man. And that's really dope to see that. You know, you had an outlet because you know it sounded like you sounded like you were in some tough times. Bro. You know, after the Jags, because you probably just wanted like, man, like, all this for what? You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Yeah. So,
but it helped me grow.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience,
and it helped me build a relationship that I really needed.
Yeah.
Because if you look at abundance right now, I'm on cloud 9, and I know why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You would, man.
Because every day since right before I went to bed, I read the Bible, and every time I pray, I just thank him.
Yeah, for
sure. I don't pray for anything. I just thank him because he already knows what you want.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you write it down, he already knows. So ever since then, it's just been a great journey. And then with Jacksonville, had that was good with that. And then when I was done with Jacksonville, even though I didn't make the team, he still left it. I was really hurt. I called my mom. I was crying to my mom. I was like, Mom, why am I the only one that didn't make it? You know what I'm saying? And this is crazy because even though I had that big thing with, it's still points in time where you trying to like you forget.
Yeah.
But I came right back. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna. God told me not to stop then. I'm not gonna stop now. So I just kept going. I went and found a job for backup plan. I went ahead, did what I needed to do.
For sure, yeah.
Work for my sister, work for my dad, was making money on the side, was still in shape, still kept in shape.
Yeah, just in case.
Right. And then it's the last part of it before we get to, the next question. I'm sorry.
I
know it's taking a long time.
Know, man. No, you got.
So
let them know, bro. Let them know.
I'm on the couch for 3 months. Not on the couch, but like in terms of free agency, I'm on the couch for 3 months from week 1 to week 15. So I'm
crazy.
I'm so into this job that I got. It's a sales job.
You thinking that's it? Yeah.
I'm thinking it's it. I'm thinking I'm done. I had a great college career. It's all good. I'm fine. I put my faith in God. I understand what's going on. If He wants me to do it, then we'll do it. So I do 3 rounds of interviews for this job. They fly me out to Tampa. I get the job. They say, all right, we want you to start in D.C. So they're like, okay, we're going to fly you to D.C.
Okay, yeah.
We're going to fly you to D.C. To meet our manager, our supervisor, so you guys can get right and everything is acclimated. So I'm about to start my job in maybe January 10th. This is December 20th. They fly me to D.C.
Yeah.
They stay in a nice hotel. I'm about to go to the interview. I'm about to go to the second interview or with the supervisor. My agent calls me up and says, Tony.
Guess what team?
Tony. Talk about dreams, man. The Patriots is called. They want to fly you out for a workout. I'd lie to you not. I was like, Coach. I was like, Ed is my agent. I was like, Ed.
Stop lying to me.
No, I didn't say that. I was like, Ed, I have a meeting. Is there any way we could push the flight back?
No.
And he was like, so you want me to tell Bill Belichick to push your flight back? And I was like, you're right, my fault. But God is so good because He was like, all right, your flight is at 7:30 p.m. So I had enough time to do everything I needed to do without telling anybody anything. I didn't have to make any kind of excuse or anything like that. I went to the interview, killed it again.
Kept it on the low.
And through the whole time I was with the Patriots, my job did not know that I was on the Patriots. I just told them 2 days ago. But then,
it's funny, man. You do a good job of keeping things on the low, man. ain't nobody knew you on the Patriots until they won it. And you got a picture of you with the Lombardi, it's like, and then I got people hit me up, yo, Tony's on the Patriots, and I'm just like, yeah, I knew that, but
because social media messes your mind up so much. If you get so much praise on it, then you start thinking man,
you start thinking too highly of yourself, and then you don't work as hard as you should. Yeah,
exactly, bro.
Yeah,
so I knew for sure, and then God taught me. He was like, hey, bro, you better keep this quiet. Because that's good, man. Yeah. This is, you just need to be in the moment right now because you need to stay on the team.
Yeah, so, nah, for real. And it's dope because you kept it quiet, and the people could have found out if they found out because it's public information. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's just all out there. But it's really crazy, man. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams though that you would play for the team that you always rooted for, playing with the guy that you watched on TV? You know what I'm saying, with Brady. And, did you ever think that this would ever happen in your wildest dreams?
Absolutely
man?
not.
You probably had dreams you were gonna be a rapper before you know this stuff, man.
We had dreams I was gonna be in a rock band.
Yeah, the rock band.
The bass guitarist, maybe Epic Prodigy. Y'all don't know about that.
Hey. Oh yeah, I told him one time on the podcast about Epic Prodigy. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Adams and I were in a rock band called Epic Prodigy. I played guitar. He played bass.
Yes, sir.
My brother played drums and sang like Anderson .Paak. It was a very
hey, bro.
I have the songs on a laptop. I just need to get my laptop fixed. I'm gonna put out the songs one of these days.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
worry. We're gonna put it. I think because the song's like 10 years old now. You know what I'm saying?
But they was smash
it
hits.
Was so fire. Yeah. They were fire, man.
Bro.
We had two really dope songs with Epic, Guardian Angel. Those were really dope songs. And you make beats too, man.
Yeah.
So So ladies and gentlemen, if you need some beats on deck, Tony got that.
I'm changing my name too. It was Boost Boy. Didn't really like it. Since my number is 64 for the New England Patriots, my dream team, my name is now going to be Tendo 64.
Oh, snap. That's fire. That's crazy.
You rock with it. You feel me? You rock with it. All right.
Man.
Cool.
Oh, man. So, Tony.
Yep.
I know you're not big with the social medias, but where can the people find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. Chef Boy with an I_T. I will follow back. You see how I follow a lot of people. Just hit me, if you want to talk, if you need some beats, I got you. If you want to just talk about my experience, I got you. And if you want to talk about the Lord, I've definitely got you. We can talk about anything that you guys want to, express.
Hell yeah.
So it's dope.
Tony.
And that's both at platforms, Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, yeah, word, man. Yo, Tony, thanks for being on, man. I really appreciate it, man. It's good to let the people know your story. I think a lot of people could hear that, you know,
Absolutely.
in this day and age, you know, where people, you know, may be feeling down. It's really important that they hear what you went through and how you overcame that. So,
I appreciate
thanks,
that, dog.
man.
And I appreciate you allowing me to have a platform to express it.
Yeah.
Because there's only one answer for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I appreciate you. This is amazing. Listen to this podcast, man. This podcast is dope, bro.
Oh, yeah,
I subscribed. But you can subscribe too.
Hey, man, yeah,
you feel
for sure. Yeah,
I'm
let them know, man. Let them know.
You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, Amir Max, baby.
Hell
2
yeah.
X's.
Yeah,
you know what
2
I'm saying?
X.
You feel
sure,
me?
all
Let's
day,
get
man.
it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 20 of the TempahZone podcast. Shout out to PRX Podcast Garage for hooking it up with the high-quality, fantastic sounds.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, y'all, peace.